say cheese? Oh. It's bedtime, my little angel. My little hyper angel. Diaper bomb. Are you ticklish? What are you doing with your legs? We gotta put your jammies on, okay? I picked out a nice pair. These have planets on them. They're purple. They're super cute. Let's get these on so we can have our nighttime milk. What are you doing? Are you horsing around? You were so tired a minute ago. Oi. Oi. What are you doing? Whoop. Do not run off the bed. That is not a good idea. Are you saying hi? Can you say hi? Say cheese. Oh, no, don't touch. Bongos. What else do we have in the diaper caddy to distract you while I can put your shirt on? What's in there? Explore. Of course you're gonna take all those diapers out. Hey, that's your favorite thing to do. Just throw everything everywhere. That's why I like to call you my little toddler tornado now. Because wherever you go, there's mess that follows. Okay? You're sticky from your lotion. What are you doing? Can I get this arm in? What are you taking out now? Your syringe and your baby Tylenol? We don't need that today. You're not sick. That's your polysporin for boo-boos. There. Lotion, diaper cream, and all your diapers. Good heavens. No more. Ow, you're kicking me. Oh, you got the hiccups? Crazy girl. Okay, let me put your pants on. Yeah. This is what it's like dressing a toddler. You kind of have to do it while they're in motion because they're never still. Yeah. Are you ticklish? Are you ticklish? Are you ticklish? I'm gonna get you. There we go. I got you. All done. Oh, are you taking that with you? Okay. Just brush your hair. You little crazy baby. You can play with the pillow. What's this? Pillow. Boing! Boing! You love it when I do pillow fights. Do boing! 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 Yeah, you got the hiccups? Your milk will take that away. Yeah, you're tired, huh? Yawning up a storm. There we go. Perfect. Actually, not so perfect now that I look at it from that side. That's okay. Here. Should we have your milk? There's a good girl. Look who's holding her own bottle. And it's not so awkward this time. Her hands are doing the hamburger hold almost. Still a little awkward for her, but she always just usually prefers that I hold it for her. She would just rather relax, but trying to teach her to do more things on her own slowly. Because most babies her age do feed themselves their bottles, though. Okay. Is that yummy? There's a bunch of little white spots on this pillow from her drooling milk or like from her bottle leaking. Mommy washes these pillowcases so many times every day. There's just more milk. Are you holding your head? Trying to relax with one arm while you feed yourself with the other. That's very cute. You've got to hold it up so you don't get the air. There you go. Good girl. She like wants to relax. Here, baby, let me just hold it for you. You relax. You got some good practice in today. It's awkward. There. You don't want to let Mama do it for you now? I'm just gonna let her finish doing her thing, and then I'll just drop her off in her crib and tuck her in, and then I'll meet you guys downstairs. Alexa, play white noise for babies on repeat.
Here's white noise for babies on repeat.
Hi, sweetheart. Good night. I love you. Look, you got your squishmallow, your elephant. Hey, they'll keep you nice and cozy. You're tired. Yeah. Okay, I love you. I love you, sweet girl. Good night. Good night. I love you. We'll see you in the morning. Here we go. Hello, you guys. I am back. It is now 3 hours since I last put Kailah to bed. I accidentally fell asleep on the couch for a little bit because I was just lying down, charging my laptop and trying to get my ducks in a row to film this, but I guess I lost track of time. But I really want to get this done tonight so I can have it edited and uploaded on time to abide by that uploading once a week schedule that I'm trying to maintain for you guys. So I guess I will just get right into it. The topic of today's video will just be how we discovered Kailah's allergies, and then how we were able to find the right formula for her that accommodates her allergies and that she would also tolerate taste-wise. So yeah, obviously, as I mentioned in last week's video, I stopped breastfeeding Kailah in January when she was 12 months old. When we did stop breastfeeding her, we slowly tried to do a wean off of breast milk because we didn't have a lot left of my frozen stash. We used what we did have, but I just was not producing enough to exclusively pump and then store and feed her breast milk out of a bottle, if that makes sense. So we did consult her doctor, and he said that there's no need for her to be on formula because she's 12 months old, and that's the time when most babies are transitioned onto homogenized milk, aka cow's milk. So what we did was we did about an ounce by ounce wean until her bottles were entirely cow's milk, and we gave her homogenized milk for probably about a month before we changed things up. When we gave her the homogenized milk, almost right away we started to notice those rashes that I talked about in last week's video get much more obvious. So whenever we would give her her bottle of homo milk, right as soon as she'd start drinking it, she would have these speckles pop up on her forehead and like around her temples and by her cheeks. And then sometimes she would even get what looked like baby acne on her cheeks. And then aside from that, when she was on homo milk, we started to notice a gradual transition from her bowel movements, moving from more solid to pretty much very loose, even liquid ones. Something wasn't sitting right in her tummy. And then her poop itself, sorry to use the word, it was just so acidic. It was causing her these very nasty diaper rashes that would not heal, would not get better, despite all of our efforts. Aside from those like physical symptoms, we did start to notice that her whole mood and behaviors were starting to change. For instance, she was becoming very irritable, whereas prior to, she was a very happy baby always, but she was just very irritable day through night. She started to not have very good naps. Prior to, she would sleep 2, 3, sometimes more hours for 2 naps a day, and she just was barely getting in maybe 1.5 to 2 hours sleeps, sometimes even like 30 minutes to 45 minutes for her naps. And then throughout the night, she went from sleeping through the night without needing to be sleep trained, she was always just very independent self-sleeper, to waking up periodically throughout the night every night. And it was just very hard on the both of us. As we started to notice these problems weren't going away, we started to think that it was likely the homogenized milk that was causing these things. So my mom suggested that we start her on formula instead of straight cow's milk. And we also maybe just thought that her body might not be ready because every baby in their body is different, and cow's milk is just so much harder for the body to process, especially coming from breast milk. She went through so many different formulas before even deciding which one she would like and which one she would tolerate taste-wise. The first formula that we got for her was Enfamil. She didn't really like that one. She would not drink it just because of the taste. She thought it was gross for some reason. The taste offended her, so we immediately had to go out and try to find something that she would tolerate. We then tried the Enfamil Allergies, I think it's called. It's just a more easily digestible version of Enfamil. It's
partially broken down already. She also did not like that at all. We then tried Good Start as our third attempt. Good Start is the Nestle brand. It comes in really tiny glass jars. She also didn't like that. The fourth one we tried was Similac, and she actually did like the taste of this. Like she took to it almost right away, and she sucked it dry. So we stuck with that one. But even with putting her on formula and having her on it for about a week and a half, 2 weeks, we didn't notice any improvement in any of her symptoms, behavioral or the rash and the tummy aches. So we started to have more validation that she does potentially have allergies. So what we did was we then decided to put her on a lactose sensitive or lactose free formula. We decided to try to give her the Similac sensitive formula. However, it's still milk based. So we tried her on that, and again, we didn't see any improvement in any of her symptoms. So that's when we decided that it might be time to take her back to the doctor, because this diaper rash was just flaming red still. It was very raw after every bowel movement that she made. And it's obviously not normal to have diarrhea for an extended period of time. And she wasn't even eating her solid foods or sleeping well. So obviously, since there were so many things going on that weren't resolving themselves on their own, we decided to go back to Kailah's pediatrician and give him the laydown on what was happening. We told him about all these different symptoms that she was having and the behavioral changes as well. And he was a little bit hesitant to jump right to the gun and say that it was likely allergies of any sort. He saw that Kailah's 12-month molars were popping up. And he said all of the symptoms that I was describing, like the diarrhea, the very bad diaper rash, irritability, the not eating her solid foods, all of those things are typical symptoms of really bad teething episodes. So he suggested that we wait it out for a couple weeks, don't make any more changes, keep her on the sensitive formula if we'd like. But if after 2 weeks the symptoms go away on their own, then he said obviously it was probably just teething. But then he said that if after even 2 more weeks nothing gets better on the lactose free formula, then to consider using a hypoallergenic formula, which are both lactose free and they are not milk based, so they are entirely dairy free. And then he sent us home with just a prescription for a steroid diaper cream for the rash, which was like the only thing that he could really do anything to treat. So we went home, we filled the prescription, we tried it out. It didn't really help her diaper rashes at all. And after another day or so of giving her the lactose free formula, we just felt as if it was super unfair to keep torturing her, basically. It was super clear to us that something was wrong, and we didn't think it was just teething related. So we just took it upon ourselves to go out and get a hypoallergenic formula right away. We first tried Nutramigen, which is one of the ones that her doctor suggested. Where we live in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada, this formula only came in powder form. It didn't come in concentrate, which you mix half and half with water, and it didn't come in the ready to serve versions. So I'm not sure if that had anything to do with this, but the smell and taste of this formula was absolutely rancid. It was the most disgusting thing I've ever smelt. Obviously, any lactose-free formula or hypoallergenic formula, especially being as they are entirely dairy-free, they're not going to be a similar scent or taste to milk by any means. And Kailah did not drink it. She was absolutely disgusted by it as well, which wasn't a surprise. So we were kind of freaking out. We were like, what do we do? Everything that she has taken a liking to is causing her discomfort and pain and all these problems. So we then had to try and seek out another hypoallergenic formula, and we actually discovered that Similac has a hypoallergenic formula. It's called Alimentum. And it does come in ready to serve cans, so you can literally just crack them, pour them straight into a bottle and serve them as is. You store it at room temperature as well. On the box here, it just says beneath its name that it is for allergies and colic, and it is a hypoallergenic infant formula used due to cow's milk protein allergy or sensitivity. So yeah, that pretty much describes it. So after having Kailah on the hypoallergenic formula for even just a full day, we already started to notice big changes in her mood and in a bunch of the other symptoms. She started to eat her solid foods more each day, and she was slowly each day getting less and less irritable as the dairy was getting completely out of her system. She was starting to be a lot more happy, like the baby that we had known before. But unfortunately, the rash was still pretty bad for a while, and then her sleeping patterns were also pretty bad for a while. In terms of the rash, we tried almost every diaper cream that we could find, and nothing was working, not even that prescription cream that we tried from her doctor. But the one cream that we did finally try and that had almost miracle results overnight was the one that I think you guys have seen before. This is a medical grade or hospital grade cream. It's the Coloplast brand, and it's the Triad wound dressing cream. This is the cream that I used to use on Kailah's neck rolls when she first started teething. I don't know why we didn't think about it sooner to try this on her butt. It is just another zinc-based cream, I believe. The ingredients are petroleum, cellulose gum, zinc oxide, and I don't know how to pronounce this, but dimethicone, possibly. I don't know. But you can get it at any medical supply store. In Edmonton here, we got it from a store called Home Care Solutions on Gateway Boulevard. It's where they sell a bunch of medical supplies and equipment. But this has been our holy grail product. So yeah, any lactose intolerance related diaper rashes or any rashes at all on any spot on your baby, this cream, I promise you, is a miracle worker, so I would highly recommend it. But in terms of treating her sleeping changes, we actually did have to sleep train her, and that was something that I had never done before. From the day Kailah was born until pretty much all these allergy problems started to arise and affect her sleep, she would always just kind of put herself to sleep, and she would sleep well throughout the night on her own. She would just get tired, we'd notice she's tired, and we'd put her to bed at a reasonable hour, and she wouldn't wake up until the morning. We were really, really blessed that way. She has always slept in her own bed as well. Ever since she was little, she slept in her own bassinet. But eventually, with how much she was waking up through the night, with all of her irritability from her upset stomach and the lactose and dairy and whatnot, I started to just cave because I would get so tired from trying to like lean over the crib and put her back to bed over and over. So I would just like pick her up and put her in my bed, and she would stay asleep that way. It was just an easy cop out for me because I was just so exhausted. I was dealing with my schoolwork and exams and stuff, and she just got accustomed to sleeping with me once she did wake up in the night, and I had to completely sever that tie and habit and essentially start from the ground up with sleep training. I'll talk a lot more about that in my next video next week. Something that I thought was interesting that you guys might find useful or interesting as well is just the fact that Kailah's doctor actually steered us clear of trying out milk alternative like almond milk or soy milk, oat milk, anything like that, for a couple reasons. For one, he just said obviously if I give her soy milk and she does in fact have a milk protein allergy, that'll still trigger all her same symptoms and bother her just the same because it does have a milk protein. And then he said that it isn't ideal to give her almond milk or oat milk or any sort of nut milk like that because they essentially don't have enough nutritional value as something like homogenized milk or formula would have. He said when they're about around 2 years of age, that's something that's not as big of a deal. I'm gonna keep her on formula until she's at least 2 years old, when we can transition her onto like a nut milk or an oat milk or something like that. And then also our pediatrician did mention how allergies like a lactose intolerance and a milk protein allergy can be outgrown. So it's totally possible that Kailah may outgrow these problems, but if she's anything like me, I don't believe I've grown out of them. Dairy is affecting me just the same as it did, but hopefully, fingers crossed, Kailah will somewhat become more tolerant to certain dairy products over the years. That's pretty much everything I wanted to discuss in today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys have any questions at all, or if your baby is also lactose intolerant or has any milk allergies, just comment down below and we can keep the chat going in the comment section. But as always, thank you so much for watching. Remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe, and hit the bell button beside to get notified every time we post a brand new video. Like I said, I'm going to try my best to keep uploading once a week, and you can be sure to keep an eye out for next week's video, which will be my sleep training video. And then the video after that, I'm going to be doing a video on easy toddler meals. So I'll be doing 3 options for breakfast, lunch, and dinner that are sort of my go-tos to give to Kailah, that are her favorites. And these meals are all, for the most part, super easy to prepare, can be meal prepped in advance even, and stored to feed throughout the week. So yeah, stay tuned for more, and we'll see you guys later.